Welcome to the Editor's Note Comics Podcast.
I think that this world, it needs men that are willing to make the hard call.
Central Maine's best comics podcast, by default.
Ain't no thing like me except me.
Here are your hosts, Zach and Jared.
I'm gonna have to come with you. No. When do we start?
Welcome back to the show, everybody.
Somebody's in a mood tonight.
No one knew that. I'm fine. I was going to really dial it back down. I'm Zach, and I'm here with the Grommet to my Wallace, Jared.
Wait, is Grommet the dog?
Grommet's the dog.
Oh, he's the smarter one. That's right. I'm glad you finally latched onto that.
You didn't even know.
Curse of the Were cheese.
It is Curse of the Were Rabbit.
Close enough. One of them really likes cheese.
Don't ring the bell.
I'm not going to ring the bell.
No, you moved your hand to ring the bell.
I'm moving it closer in case I have an opportunity to ring the bell.
For mistakes you made. What are we going to do this week? We're going to talk...
Hey, I was right that Wallace likes cheese.
They all like cheese. That's why they went to the moon, because the moon is cheese.
That's debatable.
Wensleydale? Oh, they tried to figure it out.
Oh, anyway, carry on.
What are we doing? We're doing all the pop culture news there is. Guess what? D23 was last week. Comic-Con wasn't that long ago, so hey, not a ton of news.
I like it that way.
This week in comics history.
Did you remember to do it this week?
I did.
Attaboy.
New England sports, mostly. Maybe it's going to be international sports as well.
Yeah, only if I allow you to talk.
Oh, I got things to say.
I'm sure you do.
And you know what? It's Jared's Sports Reports, but maybe if Jared kept up with more things than just one thing.
I keep up with multiple things.
Oh, good. You read an occasional headline. Thank God.
Oh, my Lord. I'm busy these days. I'm neck deep in coaching and teaching. Sorry, I couldn't stay up and watch the overtime thriller between USA and Turkey last night.
It was this morning.
Whatever. I was working.
Some of us have a schedule that goes with that right now. It's kind of convenient.
Oh, wow. Must be nice. Make your own. Your boss should get on top of you for being late to work today.
Some of us had to pay for ESPN Plus for a month, which is annoying.
Well, that was your choice.
I did. Oh, what else? Oh, we're going back to the 90s. The Phantom. It has a terrible trailer. It has a terrible poster. It has a terrible DVD case. But how is the movie?
Slam evil.
Mostly pretty good, except for the ending.
All right, well, we'll talk about it. I found the ending to be enjoyable.
With the lasers?
Yes.
Yeah, that was...
Your Schwartz is as big as mine.
It was basically that, but we'll get there. And your questions. I was going to say, do I have any news? I don't know. I'm a store. I exist on a day-to-day thing. Do I do that Jared's Love Connection or whatever it's called?
No, not really.
I don't remember what it was called. It was like Jerry 6. Oh.
No, you don't even remember what it is, so you can't even bring it up.
I got a file on my laptop.
Well, good for you.
What are you doing? What are you all about?
I'm getting my sports reports up.
Oh, are you going to read an occasional headline?
No, I'm not going to read any headlines, actually.
Oh, okay. You're just prepped? You're ready to talk about a 53-man roster?
Yeah, sure.
Are you not?
Yeah.
You're here to bring it.
I am.
The info.
Yes.
I'm just here to harass you now.
Pretty much.
So I guess if I'm just not harassing you, I guess we could just talk the news. Play the theme, me 12 hours in the future.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
It's time for the news.
I did it. I guess the big news of the week, Terminator Dark Fate had its second trailer.
Looks good.
I was going to say, yeah, you know what?
Looks very good.
Yeah, it looks entertaining, if not serviceable. Which compared to the last two Terminator movies, no.
No, it looks very good. I'm super excited for it.
I didn't care for the I'll be back moment.
Yeah, that was a little forced, but
I'm done with the callbacks. I don't need callbacks to be like, oh yeah, I'm watching a Terminator movie. I'll get it. You'll be back. Come with me if you want to live.
Yeah, I'm all about it.
Here are my roses that had my gun.
Entertain me. That's what I want. I do like some of those callbacks. I'm okay with some of the callbacks.
I was just thinking about, like, Sarah Connor sees the Terminator immediately. She's like, "Why not shoot it in the face?" If I saw someone from 20 years ago who I haven't seen, in that interim of time, would I recognize an older version of them?
Yeah.
I mean, he played a big role in her life, but would you recognize someone from 20 years ago?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know if I would be like,
he's a cyborg.
Who's this Austrian?
But like the other thing you have to like kind of remember though is those Terminators are not the same person.
No, I'm aware of that. I've seen the movies.
Telling you, yes.
Also, so John dies in the first 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Because we know Edward Furlong is in this movie. That's been announced, but we haven't seen a frame of footage of him, so he's dead immediately.
Or maybe he's missing the whole time and he shows up at the very end.
I don't think you can rely on Edward Furlong. I think he's going to be like, my name is John Connor. Me and my mother and an Austrian robot's prevented Judgment Day. And then he's going to get like his throat cut by a T, whatever the new number is.
By the
900.
way, can we just talk about how like the original Terminator does kind of break all the rules of time travel? The guy goes back in time.
Where's Flannel? You know how Flannel's against time travel?
Whatever. It was the 80s. But he goes back in time and impregnates a woman who's going to have his son.
That's not
who's
the
the reason he
Terminator.
goes back in time.
I know, there's a loop there. My theory is that, and that's the reason that every John Connor has looked different, at least until this one, is because they're all just different sperm.
Oh, string theory.
That we're seeing different versions every time in every movie.
So you're talking about string theory, multiple universes.
I'm just talking about different fast swimmers who made it in first place this time.
Not necessarily the first one. The first one usually isn't the one that wins. It's never the first sperm.
Well,
Or I should say it's rarely the
whichever
first
one lived. I'm saying that there could be a lady
I taught health
John.
for years, man. I know.
We're going to
this
call
stuff.
her Jenny. Jenny Connor.
Okay.
I don't know, but I'm just saying, I think that we're not seeing a point A to point B Terminator franchise. I think we're seeing a variation every time.
Multiple universe type.
Yeah, they're
A multiverse.
And we've never seen the same one twice, would be my guess.
Okay.
It also doesn't matter.
Well, remember, James Cameron also wrote a scene where Spider-Man does a tantric sex spider dance.
He does, and then there's some bondage.
Yes.
That was weird. That's a thing he did.
Yeah, it's the thing we talked about.
I don't know. Overall, I like it. I like seeing old Arnold. I like that he's not wearing just like leather. He's just like, here I am.
Enjoying my retirement.
I'm in flannel.
Kind of like
Deal with it. I have a beard now.
kind of like Batista in Blade Runner 2048.
49, and you
Whatever.
didn't see that movie.
I saw bits and pieces of it.
That movie is also brilliant. Everyone should see that movie.
Required watching.
It really is. I had so much fun watching that.
Anyway,
And I've seen it a few times since. It's over there now.
I see it on your shelf.
It's real damn good.
Yeah, I understand that.
But yeah, so John probably dies. We got an enhanced lady, because it wouldn't be a Terminator movie if that wasn't spoiled in the trailers.
Also, I'm pretty sure that the line where Sarah Connor's like, you know, when this is over, I'm going to kill you, is not directed at Arnold.
I think it is.
You do?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh. Well, he understands.
He does. I mean, he knows he's not the first T-800 to come back. Dun 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 dun.
Thank you.
Dun 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 dun.
That's enough of that now.
It's a good theme. Stop that. Is that what you did? I heard it. Stop it.
Okay.
What else happened this week aside from a Terminator? I don't even believe this, but we'll see. The Flash has yet another director. Is this going to happen? Who the hell knows?
I don't know.
Andy Muschietti. Probably not pronouncing that right. The guy who directed the It movies. It was rumored that he was going to be directing The Flash, and he says, yeah, that's my next thing. I'm going to do a Flash. I'm going to make a boy run real fast.
It'd be a nice change of pace from a clown eating children.
But he also said that there are going to be horror elements in it. Because that's what he knows how to do. He knows how to make a clown that everyone has to beat with a baseball bat. Then maybe that clown turns into a spider.
Come play with me. That's more Children of the Corn.
Yeah, that's a movie. That's a book.
Yep.
I read the book. Have I seen the movie? I don't think I've seen the movie. I read the book.
There you go.
I don't know what to tell you.
We all float down here.
So, like how you're just quoting books you've never seen.
Books I've never seen. I've seen the book.
Whatever. Yes, you have walked by them in a Barnes and or Noble.
Yeah, I know pop culture references. Seen the scene on YouTube. So I haven't watched the whole movie. Doesn't make me dumb.
No, but it makes you illiterate.
No, because I can read.
Can you?
Yes. I read good.
What was the last book you read?
The last book I read? I'm in the middle of reading a book about Belichick right now. Does that count?
How long ago did you start at 6 years?
No, I started it this summer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there you go. Halfway through. Really good.
How long is it?
It's like 300 pages.
So you started it in May or June and...
No, I started it in late July.
Okay.
And I picked away at it, and then I've gotten busy, but my goal is to finish it before the end of September.
Okay.
There you go. Kiss my ass.
So you suggest you reading children's books?
Hey, dude, I like the Hunger Games and Harry Potter. Those were entertaining. They entertained me. They're page turners.
No one was more concerned with the word ejaculate in that last Harry Potter book than you.
No, there were plenty of people.
You ran around and showed it to everyone.
I
Look,
thought it was funny.
ejaculate.
Snape ejaculated, man. There was where was it? Tennessee. I think it was Memphis, a school in Memphis. I read this.
I thought you were going to say Tennessee Williams. I'm like, you haven't read that.
No, I have not read Tennessee Williams. But a school in Memphis has banned Harry Potter for fears of conjuring up evil spirits.
I saw that.
Yes.
What a bunch of idiots.
Well, whatever. Expecto Patronum.
I don't know. Is this a movie that's ever actually going to happen? This is like director number 5 or 6.
No.
How many directors do you have to go through? Is it going to be part of this? Okay, here's the real question.
Okay,
The Flash is going to happen at some point. Here's the real one. Will it be Ezra Miller?
Yes.
I would say no.
No.
It's just a yes. It's purely speculative.
All right.
After what happened with Justice League and Suicide Squad and like literally years of this, is he going to be like, yeah, no, I'm totally doing this? Or he's just going to go, no. My guess is no.
No.
But who knows?
The Shadow knows.
Tom Holland. He says Spider-Man is, in quotes, safe hands with Sony in regards to the next movie. You know, that movie that doesn't have a treatment or a script?
Yeah.
Safe hands.
That's probably not going to be allowed to be part of the MCU.
No, so I think that's what you say for PR, but it just seems dumb. Yeah, just asking for his reaction. Don't ask like, well, what's going to happen next? He doesn't know. He hasn't seen the script. He's not a writer.
He's got a history of spoilers. He would tell us if something was wrong.
He's a boy. He's just a boy doing a thing.
Good for Tommy.
It just was a dumb thing. Like, he says it's insane. He doesn't know anything.
Good job.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I picked up on that.
I've been trying. To curse less on these.
I'm proud of you.
Saves me a second of editing.
Yeah.
It might be. I have no idea how that next movie is going to do. Because they're going to have to pick up on the story, but it's going to have to also be separate. And are people going to go out? Are there going to be weird boycotts, or are most people not going to be aware of it and just go anyway? It's probably that one.
I think it's the second one. I think it's people like feign outrage but go anyway.
I think the majority of the audience just doesn't know and will just show up.
Yeah, that's probably about right.
And Sony's done some good Spider-Man movies. They've also done some bad ones. So who the hell knows?
Tom Holland knows.
I'd like it to be good.
Well, that's always the hope. You don't want it to be bad. You're not like, I hope this movie sucks.
If it's who knows? Also, I guess who cares? Because worst case scenario, Marvel got 5 solid movies out of this.
Yes.
I can live with that world.
It was a good world.
Or there were 5 Spider-Man movies. The Joker has premiered at the Venice International Film Festival.
To pretty good reviews.
For the most part. Some people are like, it's an Oscar contender. Some people are like, it's going to change the superhero game. Some people are like, it's a piece of crap and it's only going to be liked by loner incel weirdos.
I hope not. I hope everyone enjoys it. I hope it's a good movie.
I mean, ideally.
As long as it doesn't create a rash of violence.
I don't think it will.
No.
What movie has ever created a rash of violence? Taxi Driver, I guess, with that presidential assassination attempt.
Starship Troopers.
It's not when.
It didn't. I'm just throwing out irrational movies.
Neil Patrick Harris to the rescue, shooting a bug.
He didn't shoot the bug. He just was there. I mean, he shot a bug during the movie.
He probably shot a bug in the movie.
He did. When he talks about shooting off the brainstem.
I don't know. I mean...
Yeah, that's right. Wrap your mind around that. Buenos Aires.
The Joker's an interest. I mean, we've seen the final trailer for it. Now we're getting these initial reviews, and I love that some people are just totally screwing with it. There's this one guy on Twitter. He's like, every reviewer just ran out into the street screaming. I yelled at a woman's face carrying a child, and we're all just laughing now. And then, it's just fine. But just reacting to the overreaction, I suppose, of the movie.
Yeah.
It's probably just going to be a movie.
Never. It's a work of art. It's an emotional tour de force.
Everything. Art is reflective of the time. Every movie is art to a point, but it's probably be pretty good.
All right.
I'm not expecting my world to be rocked. My world hasn't been rocked cinematically in a couple of years.
What was the last movie that cinematically rocked you?
Probably Mad Max.
That's more than a couple of years.
Like 2015.
So not Blade Runner?
That was excellent. It didn't rock my world.
Okay.
Mad Max rocked my world.
Like the guy on the front of the vehicle with the guitar and the fire?
Yeah.
He was my favorite character in the whole show.
Everyone loves that guy.
Why not?
It's good. It's a good movie.
What was better, the black and white version or the color version?
Mostly, I think the black and white, but not entirely. It's kind of shot for shot.
Well, yeah. But do you like it being in the grayscale as opposed to the vibrant colors of the desert?
Mostly the black and white, I think, is better.
Okay, there you go. More visually appealing.
But I'm going to watch it a bunch of times in every version, so who cares?
Not me.
I already spent the money.
Might as well.
What else happened this week? Not much. There's one more news story. It's a light news week.
I just realized your movies are in alphabetical order.
Damn right.
It's the first time I've ever noticed that they're in alphabetical order.
So are the TV shows.
Wow, that's a lot of plastic over there. All right, sorry about that. I digress.
How else would I find them?
Good point. It's a good point.
I'm not a savage.
I am. I'm a damn savage.
They all go in the correct order all the time, no matter what.
Next time I come over to take care of your animals, I'm going to move one, just one, several spaces away from where it should be.
Last news story there is. In Batman Catwoman, it's going to be going back to the Frank Miller verse of year one where Catwoman's a prostitute.
Meow.
I guess. It's weird. I don't know how the continuity works anymore. No one knows how the continuity works anymore.
I didn't think Selena Kyle was a prostitute.
She was, and then she wasn't, and now I guess she is again.
No comment, I guess. I don't know what to say.
It's kind of what happened when Dr. Manhattan reset reality. It was just kind of a pick and choose what works, what doesn't.
But Dr. Manhattan resetting reality doesn't affect other comics.
Yes, he does. Resetting all of the DC books. So now she's a prostitute again, I guess. She wasn't, now she is.
Oh.
Or she was, then she wasn't, now she is again.
On again, off again.
Sometimes you're a prostitute, sometimes you're not.
Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't.
But that's basically it for the news this week, Light News Week. So from there, we're going to move on to this week in Comics History.
That sounds foolish. Why would you change the syllabic emphasis?
I don't know.
Superhero landing coming up.
This week in Comics History.
Not a ton. There is a biggie this week.
Oh, yes.
I like that there's always a biggie. I appreciate that. There hasn't been a week yet where there wasn't a biggie.
Well, there should be a biggie every week.
We'll get some small ones. Like, for example, Jimmy Olsen's Superman's pal.
Yeah, what about Jimmy? Jimmy Olsen's Blues?
He first appeared in Superman number 13 in 1941.
Wow, that's back in the day, isn't it?
He's older than my dad. That's my scale of things.
Older than me, older than my parents. It's a fair way to scale things, I suppose.
I straight up can't read what I wrote there.
That's not good.
So we're skipping that one. In X-Men number 14 in 1965, the Sentinels made their first appearance. Big old robots. Maybe you've seen them in a movie, maybe you've seen them in a TV show. They're big robots. They don't really like a mutant. They're going to blast you with a laser out of their hand.
Good thing I'm not a mutant, just a savage.
What?
Because I don't list my movies alphabetically.
Oh, okay, great.
I put them together by, like, subject.
In 1951, Fawcett Comics lost its lawsuit against National, which was a precursor to DC, saying that Captain Marvel, or currently known as Shazam, was a blatant Superman ripoff, and National Comics sued the hell out of them into bankruptcy because of the results of this lawsuit that happened on this week.
Would you say the faucet dripped itself dry?
I'd say they made a steal. I don't know.
But that's not the faucet joke.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
They were leaking money, perhaps?
Something happened at Adventure Comics number 229 in 1956. I can't read what I wrote.
Okay.
That's one of them.
Well, I hope that wasn't the biggie.
No, it's not. I know what the biggie is. This week in 2011, speaking of the DC continuity resetting itself, DC said to heck with most things, kicked it to the curb, and they started the new 52 in 2011. 52 comics that was cut down from like 80 something they were publishing at the time. They said this is our new streamlined universe, and it's going to be this way forever. It was like 5 years that they rebooted again.
Yes, I remember talking about the new 52.
I mean, I think we were doing the show when the reboot happened.
Yes, we were. It was an initial
rebirth.
Yeah, that was back in, 2011 was when you said the new 52 happened.
Yeah.
But there was like Rebirth. I had to read a comic. It was one of the first ones I read.
Yeah.
Had the Flash in it.
Yep. And New 52,
You cried?
I didn't cry.
You got misty-eyed.
I got misty-eyed.
You teared up.
I did.
You bawled like a baby.
Did not.
Okay.
See your trap. In most of those comics...
It's okay that you got weepy.
Which for how many issues?
You had faucety eyes.
52. And then we all forgot about most of it because most of it was crap, but it did help with sales. So, positives and negatives.
You got the pages wet with your tears.
But the biggie. Oh, the biggie.
Biggie.
This is right up there with one of the most seminal moments in all of comics history.
Okay.
You ready? In 1939, this week, Timely Comics published
Plant Man #1.
Marvel Comics #1.
Ah.
The actual start of Marvel. I mean, they weren't named Marvel yet, but featuring such characters as the Human Torch, the robot one, not the Johnny Storm one, and the Submariner. And comics as we knew it would never be the same. It's actually an important issue.
Is it?
It's pretty key. Yeah, I mean, Marvel starting their company. Yeah, that's a biggie.
I would say so.
And if you have that book, that's worth a pretty penny.
Ooh, not an ugly penny, a pretty penny.
From 1939.
But you know what I've come to realize? An ugly penny and a pretty penny are still worth a penny.
Well, an ugly comic and a pretty comic aren't worth the same.
Well, I'm the pretty comic. You're the ugly comic.
There's a big old difference. So from the Texas Twister to the Houston Texans, it's time for Jared's Sports Reports.
He's running down the middle by the 50. He's at the 30. Bare chested. The guy is drunk, but there he goes. Oh, and they tackle him at the 40-yard line.
It's time for another Jared Sports Report.
Oh, thank you.
Texas Twister makes tornadoes.
He
wears a fun hat.
Is it in the shape of a twister?
No.
Is it a 10-gallon hat?
It is.
Oh, that's a fun hat.
It is a fun hat.
I wish I had a 10-gallon hat.
You just have a baseball cap.
I do. I just have a baseball cap to cover my baldingness. I know I've said it before, but is there nothing more humbling than being in the self-checkout at Hannaford and you look at the security camera,
top-down camera,
and you can see that your hair is not there anymore or it's going away?
I'm going more white than I am losing it.
Oh, no, man. I mean...
Oh, holy hell, yeah, that's not up for debate. Yeah, you're going.
Yeah, thanks. That was a great reaction. Oh, holy hell. Son of a... Anyway.
I'm doing more white than that, but if I start to go, I'm just going to shave it all.
Well, that's why I've been getting the really short haircuts.
Yeah, that'll help hide it.
I'm sure if I grew it out, it might cover it up, but whatever. I like the feel of my short hair, but that's just me.
Sports!
Anyway, to sports.
It's a big week. Everyone has their 53-man roster now.
Yes. Everyone has their 53-man roster out. The Patriots making some moves, some interesting moves. We'll start off with they kept Jarrett Stidham. He's the quarterback. He was kind of the number 3 quarterback, played most of the preseason. So Jarrett Stidham is going to be the quarterback. Brian Hoyer has been released.
How many do they have?
2. They're only going to keep two of them this year.
Okay.
So Brian Hoyer is gone, but he was picked up by the Indianapolis Colts. This is where it gets funny and interesting, where he signed a contract worth more than his backup contract. And now he's backing up Jacoby Brissett, who is also Tom Brady's backup. He started 2 games the year Tom Brady had to sit out the first 4 games of the season. Well, actually started...
for that time he cheated?
Yes. Well, allegedly cheated.
Do you think he did it? What's your opinion on it? Did he actually cheat?
The ideal gas law says that those footballs would have lost pressure. I'm
asking your opinion.
No, he didn't cheat.
You don't think he did?
It wasn't going to matter. I don't believe that he did. I believe that he had a certain PSI that he liked the footballs at. The footballs were inflated to a PSI that the ball attendants knew he didn't want, and they had gotten checked, and the ball attendants acted independently. And it ended up not mattering because the Patriots' plan was to run the football a lot, and it wasn't going to make a difference. So that's what I think happened.
A very dismissive way to look at it.
Whatever. Anyway, so Brian Hoyer agreed to a 3-year, $12 million contract that includes $9 million guaranteed. Okay? You don't talk about living a charmed life. So Hoyer was on the 49ers, got traded for Jimmy Garoppolo. All right? Jimmy Garoppolo then goes, by the way, the 49ers had not won a game that season. So he goes from starter for a terrible team to backup for the Patriots, who go on to win the Super Bowl that year. Jimmy Garoppolo goes on to win the last 4 or 5 games that year with San Francisco. Actually, I think Hoyer may have been a backup. I can't remember at the time. So then he goes on to win 2 rings as a backup to Tom Brady, then gets a huge payday when the Patriots cut him just for being a backup, okay? Not a new and unheard of thing. Matt Castle, remember him? He's from the year that Tom Brady tore his ACL. Signed a $63 million deal with the Kansas City Chiefs and made more than $60 million after leaving the Patriots. Jimmy Garoppolo, who was a backup, signed a then NFL record 5-year, $137 million contract with the 49ers, $70 million in guarantees. And then Jacoby Brissett this week also signed an extension, a 2-year extension, $30 million with $20 million guaranteed. Over $100 million have gone to Patriots, Tom Brady backups.
So I guess hope that you don't have to do anything and you'll get paid.
Pretty much, because you're backing up the greatest quarterback of all time. So there you go. There's that. Let's see. What else interesting? Oh, Rob Gronkowski made a little bit of news today. He was on a podcast, and somebody asked what it would take him to come out of retirement. He said, Tom Brady calls me up and they need me, I'd consider it.
Well, that is definitive.
Yes. Highly unlikely, though. Highly unlikely. If he does, he does. Not really,
He doesn't need to. Who cares?
He doesn't need to.
I'm sure a lot of people care, but he doesn't need to.
Let's see. Talking about baseball.
We weren't.
But I'm going to talk about baseball now. The Patriots open up Sunday night against the Steelers in the banner ceremony. So Sunday Night Football. And the NFL starts on Thursday. Real games on Thursday.
With the Packers against the Bears in the NFL's 100th season.
Not technically the NFL's 100th season. Well, yeah, it would be the NFL, because it used to be the NFL and the
That's what they're
AFL,
calling it.
and they merged, yes. But football in general.
With a big old rivalry. That's what's kicking it off on Thursday.
Yes. Anyway, to the Boston Red Sox, who are now only 5 games out of the wild card spot.
So they're
chasing
inching.
Oakland.
They're inching.
They're getting closer. They've won their last 2 heading into this night's podcast. They've won 7 of their last 10, which is the best of anybody there. The Tampa Bay Rays have lost 6 of their last 10, so they've made some ground there, but they're really chasing Oakland. They're 5 games behind Oakland. And now to FIBA basketball, because I know that's what you really want to talk about.
Why are you always so depressed about basketball?
I'm not depressed about basketball. It's not
our international spirit. It's what's leading us against the world right now. Our undefeated record in over a decade.
I almost lost it. Turkey.
Oh my God, yeah.
So anyway,
the first game.
Okay, this is okay
against the Czech Republic.
This was Jared's Sports Reports.
Okay, so tell me what happened. Did you get ESPN Plus for this? Because I did.
Nope, I read it about it on Twitter.
You read it about it?
Yes, I did.
You read it about it?
Yeah, this is the lyric.
You read it about it.
I did. Okay,
fantastic. The first game was nice and leisurely. I enjoyed a nice brunch. Just watched the game. Kind of went as expected.
Okay.
Czech Republic was checked out.
Ow.
Then they played Turkey. Mason Plumlee got 0 minutes because he sucks. But that's unrelated. I guess it is. Whatever.
It took Jason Tatum getting to the line and hitting some free throws to send it to overtime.
Yeah, so this was insane. So I was basically watching last year's Celtics. They had a nice lead in the second. Double-digit lead. They got lazy. And Turkey came back in the third quarter, tying it. I think they were up a couple of times, Turkey. So we get to the end of the fourth quarter. Turkey's up by 2. 0.1 seconds left. 0.1.
Yes.
Tatum goes for a 3. He's fouled.
Yes.
Goes to the line for 3 free throws. Makes the first. We're 1 behind. Misses the second. Oh, man.
Ooh, drama.
Oh, no, so much. Makes the third. Tied. And then USA won by 1 point in overtime.
He also rolled his ankle.
He did. He seems to be fine.
Yes. According to you, you've talked to him directly.
According to him.
Well, when you were like, oh, yeah, Jason says he's fine, it's like, well, you're on a first-name basis with him?
I would never say Jason. I'd say Tatum.
Oh, so you're like on a nickname basis with him.
Jason Tatum Sr., because he has a baby, Deuce.
Yes.
He named his baby Deuce.
Yeah, it's the number 2.
I'm aware of what Deuce is.
Yes.
But if overtime basketball just doesn't get your blood pumping, I don't know what will. Because that was exciting. That was tension.
Overtime football?
It probably would make you excited too, yeah.
Yeah. Last year's AFC Championship game?
I know. You were tweeting too much about it.
I was not. I had to have an outlet. It took me a while. My stress chart from my phone was ridiculous.
I don't think they're going to sweep this time.
I really...
USA hasn't... I don't know the last time they were beat, because they keep on just showing 2008 plus where they haven't lost on the national stage. I don't think they're going to sweep. I think this is going to be where they take a loss.
They'll still win the tournament.
They'll still win the tournament, but it's not. I don't think it's going to be a clean sweep.
Well, we'll see.
Did you see that this was last week or the week before? The scrimmages that were happening in Australia, they had to give a lot of refunds because when they build it, they're like, you're going to see the NBA's biggest stars, LeBron James, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. Like, none of those guys are there. So, like,
no,
you did not deliver what you promised. So give me my money back.
That makes sense.
Is that hilarious?
Well, no, it's not hilarious. Those people got screwed.
That it's the USA B team.
Yeah, those people got screwed. That's not funny at all.
I don't know, yeah. Oh, so here's the thing. This actually does bug me.
Okay.
There's been a big concern about, like, trying to push this. Like, make it as big as FIFA. Make it as big as the Olympics.
You can't.
But then they put it behind a paywall. Every game is on ESPN+. So I don't think you're actually trying that hard to make it bigger if you're making it so most people aren't going to be able to see it.
Well, you know what the most popular sport in the world is?
Soccer.
Yes.
And what's the second most popular sport?
Football.
No, it's basketball.
No, it's football.
It 100% is not.
Football has the highest saturation in North America than any other sport.
North America. I said the world. Football is piddly.
Football is not piddly.
Maybe on the world scale.
Stage, yes. I'm saying
it's
that football.
No basketball.
Football is the most popular sport in America.
In America.
Damn right it is. 54% saturation. The NFL plays games in Mexico City and London, England. They're looking to play 8 games in England in the next 5 years. Like 8 games a year.
I thought you were just saying 8 games. 8 games in 5 years. I'm like, it's not very many.
No, they already play 4. And do you know who plays the majority of the games in London?
Not you?
The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay, so not you.
And the Jacksonville Jaguars would probably be the team they move out there because there will be a franchise in England.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
If you could bring it to more of an international stage.
It's not that much more travel, really.
I suppose.
Most of the teams are, East Coast based. I mean, occasionally you would have to like an Oakland or something like an Oakland or a Las Vegas because that's where the Raiders are going to end up. Washington, like Seattle, the Seahawks may have to go out there or Minnesota. But other than that, I mean, if the Patriots have to play in England, it's no further than if they have to go to Oakland.
Yeah, FIBA's been fun. Except I had to get ESPN Plus for the month.
Oh, well, you poor thing.
$4.99. I'm not going to pay that for the month, I guess. I'll invite you over for the championship.
Thank you. Depending on what's going on, maybe I'll come over.
I know you're like, basketball? Why would I watch basketball?
Do you know how much basketball I watch from November to February? 3 to 4 hours a day I watch. That's more than you watch.
Is it?
Yes, I would imagine so.
All right. Is that it? Anything else happen in the world of sports?
Not that I can think of.
No one else had any cocaine things or any surprise retirements?
Nope.
All right. So from there, we are going to move on to a movie from the 90s, a comic book movie. Well, with that kind of preamble, that must mean that it's terrible, right? You can't imagine a movie so bad that it's from the 90s. We're going to talk The Phantom from 95, I think. 96, I lied.
With that guy from the Titanic movie.
With the villain from the Titanic.
Yes.
Now might be a really good time for you to get angry.
That's my secret. I'm always angry.
It's time for an Editor's Note podcast review.
We all know what happened to Hockley. He washed up on this jungle island and started being a do-gooder.
I was off by here. But okay, it's time for The Phantom. So, The Phantom, he's one of those pulp heroes. He's like, that guy who's bronze. I forget his name now.
Who's bronze? I don't know who you're talking about. Well, he was a Sunday serial for a long time, like Prince Valiant. That's how he got his start.
Doc Savage, that's who I meant.
Oh, yes.
The Man of Bronze. But yeah, he's one of those. He's one of those old pulp heroes. He was in comics. He's had a daily strip that's been going on since like the 40s. It's still going on.
Oh, yeah.
One big long ass continuity. Those comic strips, they got weird long continuities.
Yeah, like I said, it's a serial. It was a Sunday serial. It's Prince Valiant.
It's not even Sundays. It's daily.
It's daily now.
It's always been daily.
Well, it's not. Is it in the?
I don't think we have it.
Maybe we do.
I don't know if we do. I don't know if we have it in our state. But yeah, so the Phantom, old school pulp hero. And people like to be like, the pulp heroes, they were before Superman. I'm like, yeah, well, they weren't in comics now, were they? So get over yourself.
Wow.
But the Phantom is an old pulp hero. He lives in the jungle. He has a gun. He has a skull ring.
Kit Walker, baby.
But here's the thing. The trailer for this movie is terrible. The poster for this movie is terrible. The costume for this movie is accurate, but doesn't look great. And you know what?
It's fun.
It's a pretty good movie.
It's a really good movie.
It's surprisingly good. I wasn't expecting this. I've never seen it before. I was expecting like Batman and Robin or Steel quality of movie, but this is weirdly good, except for the ending. The ending sucks.
I thought the ending was funny,
but there's a weirdly high amount of production value behind this. Like if it was any other 90s movie, like I don't know, let's say Jungle to Jungle. Let's use that for our example.
That's a really...
Tim Allen finds his son and he has to bring him to modern day New York. They go to New York in this, except it's 1930s New York. They actually make this a period piece. How un-90s is that, though, that they weren't just going to go to like the big city in the 90s?
I liked it. That was really... That added to it.
Isn't that weird? Like, when I was watching them, like, even when they ended up going to New York, I'm like, this doesn't feel like the 90s. This 100% is elevating way high. And the reviews on this movie are terrible. They're really bad.
There's some really good reviews, though.
There was, like...
there are some good reviews.
Roger Ebert, he liked it.
Yes.
But if you go to, like, IMDb, it has, like, a 4.9 or something. I don't know what the hell people are talking about.
No, I'm on IMDb right now.
Or was it Rotten Tomatoes? One of them was, like...
It may have been Rotten Tomatoes. IMDb, it is a... Oh, yeah, it's a 4.9.
It has insanely high production value. It has great sets, great costumes.
A good villain.
I actually like... Yeah, the...
Xander Drax.
Well, I was going to say, he's not the only one. There's a couple of characters in this, the villainous characters, Xander Drax, whatever Catherine Zeta-Jones' name is. We're just going to call her Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Yes, she was Catherine Zeta-Jones. It was like her 4th or 5th movie. This was before she really blew up and was famous.
Before she was with Michael Douglas.
Before she was famous.
But there is actually those characters are well developed, and for a lot of them, there's this weird, are they evil, are they not evil? There's a big back and forth. It isn't just, for something that's supposed to be kind of a pulp story, there's literally a mustached villain, but it's not a mustache twirling villain. Like,
No.
sometimes is he good or is he evil? Like, you actually don't really know until the end.
Oh, no, he's evil. You can tell most of the way through.
He does some stuff where...
He stabs a man through the eyes with a microscope.
Yeah.
He spears a man in a boardroom of a newspaper.
I love that he checks the wood afterwards. Like
that was a great little piece.
Yeah, he just checks. He's like, did I ding that too bad? That's fine.
Yeah, it'll buff out. Yeah, Drax is evil. There's no hiding that he's evil.
There was some back and forth.
No, there wasn't. He speared a man to death in a boardroom.
But we didn't know if they were evil.
Well, they're dead now.
They are. Catherine Zeta-Jones had the same thing, though.
Yeah, I get that.
Is she evil? Is she not? Is she asking you about your period?
One of the best lines in the whole movie is, "This is a ship full of women?"
I love that. When he drops down, he just drops in the middle of a bathroom. He's like, can I punch anyone here?
What I like about this
feels sexist.
What I liked about Billy Zane in this is he chews it up. Like, they get that this is like...
I've seen him at shows, and he's still like, this is the thing on his banner.
Oh yeah, like the movie doesn't take itself too seriously, which is what makes it entertaining.
It's like...
It's not campy, but it's not too serious.
This movie is Indiana Jones. Just replace the Phantom with Indiana Jones, and you basically the same thing. He's got to find a MacGuffin.
Yeah.
He's going to ride a horse. He's going to find his dad. He's going to bet a lady or two. This movie is it's just a crappier Indiana Jones, and Indiana Jones is fantastic. It's not even that bad of an Indiana Jones movie.
There were a couple of things that I found it hard to let my suspension of disbelief go on.
The skulls that shot lasers.
No.
Oh, you were cool with that.
Because that falls in line with it. The suspension of disbelief that the Phantom could hang on the side of a pontoon of an airplane for a long endurance flight. That one was kind of like, eh.
Tom Cruise did it. He did it in a Mission Impossible.
He climbed into the airplane, though.
I don't know. I didn't see that one. I didn't see that Tom Cruise movie. But yeah, this movie, surprisingly good. The action, for the most part, there's a couple of scenes where it's kind of terribly overly choreographed, where you can see them waiting for the next punch, kind of. But for the most part, the Phantom is very on top of things. He's just moving without looking, and he's just knocking people down fast, and he's doing it confidently. There's a couple bad moments, but for the most part, it's competent, solid action.
I like the action. I like that they didn't spend a whole lot of time of like the New York stuff. It was just right. It wasn't too much of like, concrete jungle, man out of place. He had the little interaction with Al, the bus driver.
It wasn't a jungle to jungle where he was out of... Sorry, I'm just going to keep referencing that movie.
That's what I just said, though.
I know.
He pays in like some rubies and precious gems because of the money.
Who is that guy? That guy's in everything. He was in the 90s everywhere. That cab driver. I was like, oh, it's that guy.
Let me IMDb him.
He is one of those guys. You know what I mean?
Do you know who one of the producers on it was? Alan Ladd Jr. Do you know what Alan Ladd Jr. was? He was a producer on?
No.
Star Wars.
Ah, good for him.
He was one of the executives who kind of, helped sell Star Wars.
I mean, it does feel like I said, this is an Indiana Jones movie. It's just with a guy in a purple bodysuit instead of a man in a fedora.
John Capodice as Al the cabbie, still alive. He was Sergeant Aguado in Ace Ventura. He was in Independence Day, Speed.
So every 90s movie.
He's been in 152 films. Still acting, still active.
Say, were they all in the 90s?
No. Let's see. Let's go back to the 90s. He was in a episode of Angel.
What episode?
1999. Just little Tony Papazian.
Oh, that's when Angel was wearing the Hawaiian shirt. Right.
There you go.
And the funny hat, the straw hat.
He was an Enemy of the State.
I haven't seen that in so long. I can't.
It's a good movie. I like that movie. He was in an episode of Ellen. Yeah, he was everywhere. Oh my God.
He's one of those guys.
He was a voice in Superman the Animated Series. He was in an episode of Mad About You. He was more of a TV guy.
He was still everywhere.
He was in Boy Meets World, a character named Chubby.
Oh, the guy who ran the sandwich place.
Yeah, but just one episode.
The place was literally called Chubby's.
So maybe it was the one. He was in an episode of NYPD Blue. He was in Naked Gun, 33 1/3. So yeah, this guy was everywhere.
He was. But it was just when I saw him, like, I've seen that guy in everything.
Well, that's because you have. He's literally in everything.
The ending is unfortunately bad.
People get vaporized. Come on.
for as much as like this has like insane 1930s aesthetics and the production value is great and the sets are great, the end is a couple of CGI skulls shoot lasers at each other.
Yeah, but you kind of know that. You kind of figure out when they talk about the fourth skull who has it.
I know, but it looks so good. It looks so good until they were like, CGI skulls. That's the way to finish this movie that we've put a lot of like set design and production value in. CG skulls.
There's a massive loose end. They don't do anything with the kid.
No, they don't. He just has helpers. They're all over the place. Sometimes they're in a cave, sometimes they're in a truck.
That's fair. He has a cool horse.
He does.
And a wolf named Devil.
I was going to say Ghost, but that's Game of Thrones.
No.
He does have a wolf. It bites people. It's a good wolf. It's a good boy.
Good wolf. He's the best boy. No, it's certainly worth a watch. It's a good rainy day watch.
Isn't that surprising? Were you expecting anything out of this?
No.
I thought it was going to be awful.
I think I recall watching parts of it when it came out or when I was younger. I was like, eh. But now watching it, I was okay with it. There's some like clunky exposition-y parts, but
yeah, I mean the beginning of the movie they just dump his origin. Like, so when it started I was like, okay, what am I
did kind of like the serial aspect though, like for those of you joining us late.
Yeah, that was fun. That's right at the beginning. It's literally a text screen.
But it's it does kind of wrap itself up neatly in that the opening dialogue ties into the final dialogue, so you're kind of like, is this all being told in retrospect or is it just a circle back through?
Yeah, it's good. It's not great. Let's not like be like, this is the greatest movie ever.
No.
It's not great, but it's solid. It's a totally fun adventure movie.
It's on the upper end of decent.
Yeah, no, until the end, I was having a good time.
Come on, it was cool when Drax blows up.
Like it when he turns the skulls towards one guy and he just vaporizes. He's like, oh!
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that would happen.
I liked Drax, though. Drax was hilarious. His banter and his talk was funny.
Wasn't it? It was so great when that one guy he's like, oh, so these are powerful.
Yeah.
Damn, I mean, we usually, when we talk about these movies we've never seen, I think every single time we've been like, it's terrible, don't watch it, it's hilariously bad, or it's egregiously terrible.
It's
good. Watch it.
It'd be a good rainy day Redbox. Well, you can't read Redbox. You'd have to like
rent it on Amazon or YouTube.
Yeah. I would say it's a good rainy day rent. I wouldn't make it your number one movie, but if you're looking for something kind of fun and different, go for it.
If you like Indiana Jones,
yeah,
but you want to have a not as good version.
There's not as much globe hopping though as there is in an Indiana Jones movie.
No, but I mean, he goes to the jungle. He goes to a boat.
He lives in the jungle.
He goes to New York.
Top men are working on it.
This is so inspired by Indiana Jones. Like, literally, his dad shows up.
Or is it reverse? Indiana Jones may have taken its inspiration from The Phantom.
No, because
of this particular movie.
Last Crusade came out way before this. Also, I think his dad thought he was gay. He's like, oh, thank God.
Well, I mean, he's lifelong bachelor of the jungle.
Wasn't that a weird moment, though?
When he's talking to his ghost dad in the backseat of the car.
He's like, a woman? Ah, good.
He's probably worried that there'll be no more phantoms.
Good movie.
Yes.
Totally enjoyable.
There you go.
Well worth a watch. Maybe don't buy it.
The Ghost Who Walks.
I think it's worth a viewing.
Yes.
All right. So from there, we're moving on to your questions, to letters to the editors.
Lot of questions, number one. Damn few answers.
Here's another one of your letters to the editors.
Make it so.
If you want to ask us your own question, get your thoughts on the show, get your inquiries there. editorsnocomics@gmail.com or Facebook or Twitter. This week, with school back in session.
That's right, baby.
What do you think about using comics as a learning tool?
Absolutely. Graphic novels are actually being used quite a bit in education. So whatever you can help access the material with, by all means.
Going back to Boy Meets World, Mr. Turner taught us that X-Men #1 by Jim Lee and Chris Claremont was the way to go, and that's how you teach in English.
Hey.
That was the 90s.
I'm all for it. Graphic novels, visual mediums.
Probably
yes.
not X-Men #1. It's not a very good book.
All right. Well, there you go. There's actually a lot of graphic novels and comic books in the library at the school I work at.
We did March before. Do March. Do Mouse, which is, World War II allegory.
Do Watchmen.
Do Watchmen. Do a deconstruction. People know what superheroes are about now. Do New Frontier. It's just good.
How about Bone?
I never read Bone. Do Bone.
There you go.
I haven't read everything. I can't.
Well, if you showed up for work on time, maybe you could.
There was overtime. There was basketball overtime.
Oh, good thing it wasn't New Comic Day.
I know. I was just like, I'm going to be late.
Well, poor people at the shop.
It was all fine. I don't think
You could have had new customers waiting for you to open your doors at 10 o'clock.
I hope not.
Must be nice to start your day at 10.
11.
11? Wow, banker's hours.
Well, I need that hour in the morning because everyone else opens at 10 because I work 6 days a week. I need an hour to do errands at other places.
11 to 6. Wow.
I work 6 days a week.
You work 6 hours a day.
I don't get breaks.
That's fair, I suppose.
And it's 7 hours.
Oh, yeah, I guess it is 7. Unless you're late for work.
It's 6 days a week, 7 hours a day. I don't get a 2-day weekend, and I haven't had a break since 2014.
That's not true. You went on vacation just recently.
No, I did. That was 3 days.
That still counts.
Oh, yeah.
Just because I came off a 3-day weekend doesn't mean you should be mad at me, sir. Talk to your boss about this. Unionize. Labor Day was yesterday. If you like the show, go to patreon.com/editorsnotecomics. $1 a month gets you this show a whole day early. Lucky you. Plus, you get spoiler and spoiler-free reviews of the new releases of Angel, Buffy, and Firefly, which Zach's about to record right after this.
You're damn right. Maybe it's a key issue. It's key. It's so key.
No, you don't review Key. You only review Angel, Buffy, and Firefly.
No, that's Dawn.
Oh, that's Dawn.
That was a Buffy joke.
Plus, if you want to, go back in time and check out the Buffy Back Issue Bin. Really great series that Zach did a while ago with Emily.
It's still going on. It's just sporadic now.
Oh, okay, there you go. Plus that. You can also visit the shop, 210 Water Street in Hollowell, and online, editorsnotecomics.com. He's also on Instagram, Facebook, all the social medias, the Twitter.
Barely Instagram. What was the last time I posted on Instagram? A year ago?
I don't know. Let's see. Maybe we should stop, pumping up your Instagram.
Follow me on the Insta.
Editors Note Comics. Last post, August 12th, 2018.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. Don't follow him on Instagram.
It's sporadic to say the least. It's been over a year.
I would say yes. It's been well over a year.
You have another show. It's all about sports.
It's the Coach's Room Podcast. You can find that on all of your favorite podcasting platforms. New episode coming out next week.
The hell's that about?
It's about coaching.
The title's not descriptive enough. Tell me what it's about.
It's certainly descriptive enough. It's about coaching, and we talk all sorts of coaching philosophy. We interview some great guests. If you still haven't listened to our episode with Joe Burnham, such a great story. He took a program that was on the brink of going into total oblivion. He went over almost 1,000 days from when he was hired to his first varsity win, and now they're one of the premier basketball programs in Central Maine. So
thank God some people were bored that had natural talent, because that's really how young sports works.
And you can find me on Twitter at Junior Rich.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm getting away from Mr. Cynical. What are we doing next week on the show?
I don't remember.
Okay, that sounds cool. We'll see you then.
What are we? I don't remember.
Well, we'll figure it out when we get there.
Well, 2019 is supposed to be the year of weird crap, and we found a golden turd.
What?
In the Phantom.
Oh, yeah.
Next week, probably back to just regular crap.
Oh, good. Can't spoil me.
We're not going to find good in...
Can't continue to spoil me with the good stuff.
Yeah. All right, we'll be back. I don't remember what for. It's something, though, but I bet it will be a good old time.
Stay cool, Space Cats.
You remembered. I wasn't sure if you would.
Oh, yes, I did.
Okay, I guess that's the thing now. Bye, everyone.